Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, February 3rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the price you see over here will be moving around and changing, and the candlestick itself will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one here is CVNA, which is now a very tricky chart to talk about because it's a lot of perspective that goes into it. What do I mean? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, maybe you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 25 minutes, well, then from that perspective, the chart looks absolutely terrible. However, yes, the price did pull back quite a bit, but what about for those of you that care about the bigger picture point of view? Well, and I'm not saying this will occur, but let's say this thing drops even further and comes down to right here around $12.50. Now, emphasis here on big picture. So from the big picture point of view, if the price came down here and bounced around, what would you still have? Well, you'd have a set of lows there. You'd have lows here. You'd have lows down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, what do you have? Again, emphasis on big picture. From the big picture, you would still have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. Again, 100% understand if you're a day trader that bought right there, you don't care about these stair steps. But that's why I'm trying to make the distinction between your strategy and your perspective going in. So yeah, day trading type angle, very, very rough day. Bigger picture point of view, the price does still have the opportunity to chip away and build in a higher base. Next one here, Facebook, ticker symbol META, Meta. Monster move today. I think I read an article, biggest move it's had in like a decade or something. But anyways, monster movement after earnings. A lot of people watching it, huge volume. So let's map out a couple levels out there. So for those of you that like to play pullbacks, then in my mind, very interesting pullback area right there around the $180 mark. In my opinion, I think that's got a very realistic chance of getting tested. Of course, there are no guarantees, but also there's no guarantees in the sense of even if the price does come down here and test it, it doesn't mean that the price is going to bounce like it did back here. Now, is it plausible to think that way? Yeah, absolutely, but no guarantees, which is why risk management matters so much. But like I said, from a support standpoint, 180, very interesting level in my mind. In terms of levels of resistance, two key levels to watch moving forward. Going to be the first level right there at the 193 mark. And then after 193, next key level, just simply where the party finally stopped today. And that was up there at about 197.50. So keep an eye on those levels. But like I said, in my opinion, I think the most interesting dynamic right now after such a big move is if the price comes down to that 180 mark. Next, MULN. Very, very impressive move today. And definitely updates need to be done. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines down here as they serve their purpose for now. Got the breakout here. But the price did overall do a pretty impressive job of still respecting this older area of resistance right there from a trend line that I drew. So let me squeeze down the chart and you'll see where this was coming from. And for those of you that watched the videos from a few weeks ago, perhaps you remember me putting that trend line into place. But it definitely got, lost in the shuffle, forgotten about as the price dropped all the way down here. But you can say up here, now was it perfect? No, but still, generally speaking, price came up around that area, momentum disappeared, and now there has been a pullback right there. So moral of the story there as I zoom back in, that's where that red line is coming from, and 40 cents is going to be that key area of resistance, not in the sense of not allowing the price to get through it, but more so in the sense of can the price, after it gets through it, maintain and build momentum, because two times right there when the price got through it, like I said, there is just no follow-through momentum. If the price does pull back any further, then a key level now to watch from a pullback standpoint, going to be that former breakout area right down there at 36 cents. But all in all, very impressive move today. The uptrend continues, but going into Friday, let's see if the price can get back to that 40 mark and then get through it and keep some momentum. Next, PLTR, very nice move over the past couple of days, but then you look at today's action and it just, kicked it up a whole nother notch. And like Meta, in my mind, I think 850, very realistic chance of getting tested here. If it does, like I said, I can very well see that bounce, almost like a double bottom here, except within an overall uptrend where the price comes down here and then heads back up. So 850 going to be a key level to watch. But as I've said, and we'll probably say more times, no guarantees. So risk management matters because you don't want to sit there and buy at 850 and then hold and hold and hold. And before you know it, you're holding at like $3 or something crazy like that. But like I said, risk management, always have it. As far as areas of resistance, pretty straightforward on this one. You can see several times today, price got right up around that $9.20 mark. But going back to the whole topic of momentum, all these times the price was up around that area. The momentum just was not willing to kick it into another gear, which is understandable given that the price has already gapped up and made a big move up. So it's not like a price has to go straight up every single day or, throughout the entire day to be healthy. So yeah, pulled back this afternoon, but overall, the overall trend still in, very much so a higher high and higher low environment. Next is AMC. And first, let me just get rid of that line. Little house cleaning. And first update, and this will mean more of those that watched yesterday's video, but hopefully remember me talking about $5.90. Let me squeeze this down so you can see where that comes from. But you can see with the price gap and above it, at that point, just the foundational rule and levels of resistance are broken. Close above, you want to see them act as support. So change that to green. And then, just the power of charts right here. Beautiful example. Price pulled back. Did it bounce off that green line? Exactly. No, it didn't. But did it get very, very close? Yes, it did. So a classic example of that resistance then acting as support as the price then turned itself back around. So zooming back in, or actually, let's not zoom back out because we need this level right here in terms of the next level of resistance. I think it got rejected from, nope, not quite. Close. But right up there at $5.50 is going to be that next key level, which is coming from these highs back there. So like I said, got somewhat close, but didn't technically hit it right there today. But moving forward, if this pullback does turn itself around, then that's where the big question mark resides. Can the price break up through 550? We'll see what happens. Real quick, wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online event that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used to build consistency to manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. One special note though, it is a truly live event and it is happening tonight. So I understand I have 5 kids. So if you were to have something on your schedule this evening and can't make it, no problem. Or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you just completely missed it. Go ahead, drop me an email and I'd be happy to send you a link so that you can watch the recording of it. All I ask is because it's live, it's first got to happen and then I got to get it uploaded and then I'd be happy to send you a link to it. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one, VINO. And not a whole lot can be said about this one from a pattern perspective or anything like that. But you have to keep in mind that the idea of a watch list is to find unique, to find interesting situations and not randomly rush out and buy anything, but to watch it. And does that fit the criteria? Well, in my mind, yes. When a stock all of a sudden gets an explosion of volume and goes essentially straight up, I would call this a very unique. I would call this a very interesting situation and something worth watching. So again, as of right now, are there any patterns? No, it's essentially just this price going straight up. But let's just say, and I'm not saying this will occur, but and this is why I like to do these when the markets are open, because look at that, approaching those previous highs. Can it break through it? We'll see what happens. But again, am I saying this will occur? But just for example, like let's say this thing actually pulls back a little bit, pulls back. Well, at that point, at some point tomorrow, you could do something like this. We're like, okay, yeah, the price is pulling back. Yeah, there's this downwards channel. But before that, a big move occurred. And oh, look, I got a bull flag pattern. So I'm not saying a bull flag, and look at that, going to new highs. Not saying a bull flag will occur, but that's just what I mean by it's worth keeping an eye on and watching, especially if you like to play stocks that are down below $10. You like to play stocks that are just all over the place. So yes, as far as unique, interesting situations, I can't think of anything further than an explosion in volume and an absolute explosion in price. Next one, LUCY, and this is no doubt about it, a very ugly looking chart. But for you longer time viewers, you know that I'm going to say next, but there can be opportunity in the ugly. So yes, if you like to play these stocks where things are looking really ugly, but you like to play pullback, structure yourself, good solid risk reward scenarios, then this one seems to be potentially presenting an opportunity for that. Let me squeeze this over, there we go. I was behind my ugly mug for a second there, but the key level that really stands out to me is this former breakout point down here at $1.85. So if you look here, you can see resistance. And then the other thing with that is you have that purple line right there. So I'm actually going to zoom back in to make it a little bit easier to see. But just keep in mind, that's where that green line is coming from. But you also have that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. So as I've said, are there guarantees? No. But is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if this thing gets a little bit more panic and, stretches a bit more to the downside, could it find some buyers and then get a bounce upwards? Yeah, that is more than plausible. Again, not guaranteed to happen. Risk management matters. But even if you get a modest bounce, compared to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very nice upside reward. So again, from a risk reward plan perspective, a lot of opportunity here, but that's where you got to be disciplined and you got to honor that loss and got to honor those stop losses. Next one here, TENX, and I put this one at this exact location so I don't have to sit here and be a broken record. Same general concept. Yes, ugly looking chart, but there can be opportunity in the ugly. So if this pullback continues, then in my mind, very interesting level right down there at the $1.90 mark. So keep an eye on $1.90. I'm not going to say any more. That's the risk reward scenario. Be disciplined. But if you do get any sort of bounce at all, then yeah, compared to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very nice upside reward. Next one here, our good friend TSLA Tesla. And overall, another monster day. Had the pullback late day. And at one point had come up and broke through that level of resistance and did a good job for the most part of staying above the resistance, but the late afternoon pullback right there actually pushed the price back down below that level. So not the end of the world, but just point that out because, yeah, moving forward, that 191-ish mark still going to be that initial area of resistance. But I do want to add in one more now because I'm very curious about this level, and we'll see if it picks up any traction. But that trend line right there, and let me just, like I said, this is more so curiosity than anything. I would argue it carries some significance with it, but how much, that's certainly unknown at this point. But like I said, I'm going to start to track that one over the coming days and who knows, maybe even weeks, and we'll see if that comes up again and provides any sort of resistance. But before I worry about that trend line, like I said, prices first got to get up above that 191-ish mark. As far as levels of support, nothing new here has changed. For those of you that have watched past videos, you've heard me talk about that purple line there, the 50-period moving average over and over again, and that remains true. Current value of that moving average down there at 177. We'll just call it 40. So overall, the chart's completely fine. Yeah, a bit of a bigger pullback here, but assuming you're not a day trader that, bought right there with the plans of selling within 7 minutes, then everything is still perfectly fine because from the bigger picture point of view, higher highs and higher lows. Next, TQQQ, which is an ETF that follows the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to rise, this one will also rise. Difference being this one allows you access at a much lower price point, which makes it very popular. So yes, the NASDAQ had a great day today. Therefore, this one did too, and updates need to be made. I mean, a pretty crazy day. I mean, really crazy past couple of days in all actuality. But first update, as you've heard me say, when levels of resistance, there we go. When levels of resistance are broken and closes above, you want to see them act as support. So going into the day, 25.50 was that area of resistance, but now with the price up above it, would be considered a level of support. And the crazy thing is, it's not even really that close. So to think that the price could have a decent sized pullback all the way down here, and yet would quote unquote only be right here compared to these previous lows, I mean, that's still a very big space, which just shows how strong today actually was. So keep an eye on that. And then as far as levels of resistance, nothing complicated at all. Literally just that question, okay, well, where did the party finally stop today? And that was up there at 27.40. So 27.40 will be that next key battleground moving forward. But yeah, all in all, the bounce continues. I mean, look at this absolute upwards channel here. And then this thing even got extended out up above the upwards channel. If I were to draw something very quick like that, you can see that now the price is even up, above that. So like I said, any angle you look at it, very, very strong day. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the training. Or like I said, if you already have something on your schedule or you flat out missed it, go ahead, drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the recording. But like I said, because it's live, the event literally first needs to happen, then I got to get it uploaded, and then I'd be happy to send you a link to it. So I appreciate your patience and thank you in advance. But like I said, if you can make it, then yeah, it'll be this evening, Thursday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, do two things for me if you enjoy, which you have been doing a really good job of. I've been getting more comments, which help out the channel, help out the videos. Leave a comment, hit the like button, say hello, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things communicate to me that you enjoy, and as long as I know that you are enjoying, I will continue to put in the required time and effort to get these videos out to you. So again, get signed up for that class or drop me an email, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.